Hey guys, welcome back. So I was just on my lunch break, and this is crazy. I went to the Facebook groups, and I saw what looks to be the first glimpse of Time Crisis, the Arcade1UP cabinet. I want to show you some pictures of it. Check it out. This is going to be evidently. I mean, this doesn't look photoshopped in any way. This looks the post is from. Let me take a look at who the post is coming from. It is Miguel Sanchez, just 26 minutes ago. He says, just left Arcade1UP in Miami, and here is a Time Crisis cabinet. And I don't know, what do you guys think? I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments, and you hear in the live chat. Time Crisis, what we can see from it. Time Crisis, we got a big Namco sign on there. We got two guns that go into the deck. It's all red, yellow, speakers above. It looks like a 17-inch monitor. Time Crisis logo at the bottom or at the top, and then all the way at the bottom you got that foot pedal. So this looks to be the first glimpse of what Time Crisis is going to look like. Yeah, people in the chat, kind of fugly. This is not what I was expecting the Time Crisis to look like. I don't know if this is a prototype. On the side of it, man, I really wish we could see some angles on the side there, because you could kind of see the shape of the side of the cabinet. We don't see that yet. It looks like it's going to be a 17-inch monitor. It is riserless. This is riserless. You guys notice this. So I don't know if this is an XL cabinet. I will tell you that I've heard of this idea. So full disclosure, John D has sometimes told me some things that are not public yet. And one of the that I will say this. One thing he told me that is the possibility of the name being deluxe. He had mentioned, and that's, I don't know if they're workshopping that idea, but I can tell you the moment that I heard that, I was like, wow, deluxe is a really cool name. So I don't know if this is going to be the deluxe cabinet, or if this, it doesn't look like it's an XL, right? The XL cabinet is a 19-inch screen. Perhaps this is the first deluxe cabinet with no riser. That's what's being, I don't even know. This is the other thing that I don't know, is if they intentionally are leaking this, or this is really from a guy named Miguel Sanchez that actually left the Arcade1UP in Miami, took pictures, and then leaked the information without them approving the leak. I don't know. We all know that Time Crisis, so that was in the works. We know it's going to be announced soon. There was even a thought of this coming out in the near future, before the end of the year, but I don't know dates. I don't know anything else. There is another picture of another product that I want to share from you that's also a part of these, let's call it leaks or whatever it is, and that is a Wheel of Fortune CasinoCade. So this is the first time I've ever heard anything about a CasinoCade, but it is a catchy name. It's online. What? It's an online Wheel of Fortune CasinoCade. Bring Vegas home. Now, for me, I'm out. This is not something I'm interested in. I think it's funny. And now I'm just looking at it for the first time. It does say Wheel of Fortune, but it looks like they're going to sell multiple. So we got a Marilyn Monroe, we got Monroe, we got Elvis. Press Your Luck. That's interesting. Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, Let's Make a Deal, and Plinko. Yeah, we'll get the first person, but the online won't work. There we go. So that's the only pictures that I'm seeing so far, is the Wheel of Fortune and the Namco Time Crisis. So obviously the most exciting thing is the Time Crisis. So let's go back to that. So what do you guys think about this Time Crisis? And do you think this is going to be, something that you would want to buy, pick up? I think it really comes down to the price. If that price is going to be something reasonable, what would be a reasonable price for this? How much have they charged just for some of these shooter cabinets in the past? Now, definitely, I don't want to see a $700 price tag, $699. Could we get this thing at $599, $499, $399, somewhere, lower would be a little bit better. But we know that Time Crisis is likely going to be send-in technology. And up to this point, everything they've done send-in has kind of been in that higher price range. And I bet they're going to try to try to gouge us with the prices and say, look, it's gonna be the deluxe cabinet. It has no riser built in, or the riser is built in, and it's got a foot pedal. So all that increases the price. But to me, that looks like a 17-inch monitor. And so with the 17-inch monitor, like, that price should be limited. We should get it down. Let's see. So Lewis Chambers is saying, can we zoom in? I'll see if it'll let me zoom in. There we go. So we're zooming in on the Time Crisis. Let me go full screen on this so you can see a little bit better. I'll come down kind of more in the corner here. This is the only pictures that I've seen so far. Time Crisis, Namco. We get 2 speakers on the top. It's definitely not a Pro. It doesn't have those Yamaha speakers with the speaker grill around it. This looks like your standard speaker set with the normally like the 3/4 scale side. I'd really want to see the side of the cabinet, because the side of the cabinet looks like it might be pretty cool. And then we have the riser built into it. I don't know where it splits. Can we see where the line is? I'm imagining that the line is going to be, I don't think it's a single piece, right? They're probably going to still try to make it, 2 pieces, something that can fit in that 48-inch box. This is the first look at the Time Crisis Namco Sinden light gun, most likely. We got guns that are red and blue. Got some buttons on there. I wonder if this is the actual unit, because what do you guys think about the red control deck? Do you think it's just going to be plain red control deck? Is that, I don't have off the top of my head or memory what the Time Crisis control panel looked like in the arcade. How much of this step on it is the step on it sticker? I can't remember. Is that how Time Crisis is? Is that going to be this pedal is going to be something loose that you can move around? Someone also mentioned no bezel. So is this cabinet going to have no bezel? Is that what we're talking about? Yeah, I don't know the answers. I'm going to have to do some research on it. I'm assuming this will be a topic for tonight. There's some shows like Super Game Room Dudes. They'll probably be covering it. If they have that show tonight, I don't know any reason why they wouldn't. Go check them out. I'm sure they're going to be talking about this because it's going to be a topic of discussion. I'd love to hear what you guys think about it. Some people say it looks pretty cool. I think some people say it's looking kind of ugly. Yeah, I can kind of see. I mean, this is the one cabinet that I was thinking that I would like to have out of all of the shooting titles that they would come out in the future. I passed on every other shooting cab. I don't have Big Buck. I don't have T2. Time Crisis seemed a pretty cool game. I don't know what other games are exactly going to be on it. That was leaked before and talked about. But we don't have any good confirmation of what those games are. What questions do you have in the chat about things that you would love to know about this Time Crisis? In the chat, I'd love to hear from you. Ask those questions. I don't even know what questions to ask about this cabinet, and that's why I'm seeking for that engagement. What things are missing from it? What things should be added to it? I'm definitely interested in that conversation. So to me, I'm looking closer at it, and to me, this pedal looks really cheap, right? So this pedal looks like a toy almost, like it's very much the toy. That's a good point. No coin door. We just have this plain. Is this a prototype? Will the prototype not have the coin door, but the final version of the coin door? It's a good question. I think it should have a coin door. What do you guys think? I mean, coin doors make that, otherwise this front of the cabinet looks super plain, but everything about this cabinet so far looks super plain. So it makes me think that it's like an early prototype where they hadn't figured out exactly what was going to be on this unit, right? Like there's no bezel, there's no artwork in the front, and usually with the physical designs, I would assume that this is going to be the foot pedal, but is that foot pedal, going to be the final version? And then why is there a cooler next to it? Does anyone know the reference to why a cooler would be next? Yeah, what is in the cooler? That's what we got to find out, right? What is the side artwork? I can kind of see Time Crisis logo on the side, and it looks like it's the action guy on the side. It's very likely just the same artwork that's on the original cabinet. I mean, that's what it kind of looks like at glance. Time Crisis Arcade. Let me pull that up. Time Crisis Arcade. What does the original unit look like? See if I can find a pretty good image that shows the side artwork. So here's a man about to share the screen. Here's a man standing at an original Time Crisis. It's not letting me paste it. Hold on a second. Open image in new tab. Let me go in there. Okay, so we're going to share a screen on this. Here we go. So this is a Time Crisis original cab. You see, it's got a coin door on it. That it looks like they matched that color all right. The front of the Arcade1UP cabinet has that color, and on the side you got the man with the arm. He was kind of like running from an explosion or something. As the Time Crisis logo on it. We have Namco at the top, and we have Time Crisis logo at the top. And it's this Time Crisis only had one gun, but the Arcade1UP is going to have two guns. You can kind of see it looks like the same artwork design. You can't really tell, can't really fully tell because the side of the art, we don't see it, but you do look like it has that same guy. And then the Time Crisis logo is down here, right? There's a little bit of word. One thing it looks like they are matching. If you look at it, you got Time Crisis light up marquee at the top. Hopefully it's the slide in marquee that usually illuminates really well. I think this marquee is going to look really well, being that it doesn't have a lot of dark spots. And then you have the Namco logo. Let's go back to the original here. And this is more straight up and down. That Namco kind of has an angle. Oh, looks like they kind of match that pretty good with the size difference. You got Namco right there. Marquee. It's not too bad when you do a comparison side by side there. Let's see if they got that logo. Yeah, the little crosshairs. Yeah, it's not too bad. You got a little bit yellow underneath on the original cabinet. Let's take a look at the Arcade1UP. Yellow underneath. It's got a different angle. Kind of resembles more of maybe, what do you guys think? Big Blue a little bit, where Big Blue's speakers are kind of like right above the monitor in that same way. And yeah, I don't think there's very much more to talk about this cabinet. Let's take a look at the live chat and see what you guys are saying about it. We're talking about only one pedal. Now, I think if I understand, it's going to have multiple games, and some are going to be one player, some are going to be multiple player, and I think that's why you're going to have two guns. I think Time Crisis 1 is a one player, and it only had the one gun, one pedal. There's probably not a game in here that requires two pedals. So maybe that's why it's like that. Someone mentioned it has no Arcade1UP logo on it. It's interesting. Most Arcade1UP cabinets have a logo at some point. This does make me look like this does tell me that I think this is a prototype. You would think that you would see at least an Arcade1UP logo. I saw that on the Yoga Flame. The Yoga Flame renders had the Arcade1UP logo or had none, and I think in some of the pictures you'll see that render, but in actuality it has an Arcade1UP logo right on that front panel. Let's see what other, we got some guesses on. Mike Evans says $7.99 is his guess on the price. What do you guys guess what the price is going to be? So I thought Star Wars was before Time Crisis. That's my understanding. And maybe what we're seeing is this is a leak of what the photo is going to, what the cabinet's going to look like. I don't know if it's intentional by the company or unintentional. My understanding is Star Wars is the next cabinet that would come out that would be released, or announced earlier. And I have no confirmation that Time Crisis is before, or let's see, I have no confirmation. I have no knowledge of whether Time Crisis is a real cabinet that they're going to release. The only thing that I know about Time Crisis are these pictures, which indicate that it's coming soon, and the leaks from in the past, right? And the leaks from the retailers that Time Crisis was in the list that was supposed to come out this year. And a lot of people have been assuming, since it hasn't been announced yet, that it would probably be a future release. Let's see. I think, how much was T2 when it launched? I think that's $700, right? Weren't a lot of those, was it $700 or $750? Let's see, Terminator 2 Arcade1UP. What is that retail price? You can get it available now at a lot of places for $399. About a year later, you can find the Arcade1UP Terminator 2 $399 at Kohl's. Probably get some Kohl's cash. But I go to the Arcade1UP website itself. Terminator 2 right now is $699. I think that is that premiere or debut price. Yeah, $699 is what I am seeing. Let me pull that up so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So Terminator 2, $699 currently at Arcade1UP's website, and I think that was that original price, but retailers have it on sale. Good question. Yeah, $699. People are saying. Let's jump in the chat. See what you guys are saying. Coindor would be 100% break up that color scheme. Yeah, I think that would really help. Take a look at that. Imagine if there was a Coindor right here. That would break it up. I think it would look really great, actually. Let's see. What else we got? 17-inch monitor. It sucks the control deck area doesn't have more to it. Very flat. Looks very flat. So let's look at, do I have it pulled up anymore? Let's see. I'm going to take a look. We're going to share a screen of the original cabinet. This man, yeah, I mean, the control deck right now I mean, what I'm trying to say is the control deck from the original was pretty plain. But when you move it to the 3/4 scale size, like, it does make it look bare. And I wonder if we're to buy one and you're a huge Time Crisis fan and they're like, okay, they're keeping with the original integrity of the it's just red on the control deck, but originally it also had these really cool shapes, and it looks like there was like a sticker there. It had a Coindor before. And you don't get any of that in the 3/4 scale. So it does make it look very flat and very plain. So I don't know exactly what solution we would need, Arcade1UP to do to make that look a little bit better. I'm trying to look at this cabinet to kind of see more what it's designed off. It looks like the side panels are kind of sandwiched on the side. It really does remind me of Big Blue. So it's got a slanted control deck, but the control deck is sandwiched inside these inner boards. I wonder how that works. You guys see how this is working? So you got the side panels on the side, and then inside that is a piece of wood where the control decks come out, and then there's another piece of wood. See if I can move it around. That sandwiches in between that piece of wood, and then you got the front panel, and then you got an angle. There's a lot of busyness going on. This is kind of cool right here, where if you can kind of see the entire flow of the wood, you got flow of wood that comes up here, then it goes straight up, then you have a control deck that leans, and then it leans up again to the monitor. Again, reminding me a lot of the Big Blue. I think it borrows from that design a lot. Then you got speaker grill, then you got Namco up there, and then you have this top. So it looks like this piece is completely separate. It's almost like instead of the wood from the riser, it's got a topper, if you will. It's almost like the Big Blue with a topper on the top to give the height even higher. Then you got these square side panels with the artwork on it. This is definitely a custom built shape cabinet. I don't know if this was like they took a Big Blue and then they modified it until it was this, or if the manufacturer actually fully made this and assembled it. But it's a lot going on with it. I think the coolest takeaway is it's very true. The rumors of the that Arcade1UP is moving away from the riser, or at least starting to build cabinets that have no riser attachment. And maybe this is how they got away with the pedal. What other cabinets would you like to see Arcade1UP come out with that have that riserless or built-in riser design, but not XL, not Pro, kind of still this 3/4 scale? I think 19K Fox calls it like a premium design, and I think with that foot pedal, it's pretty cool that it doesn't have that riser. Let's see what else is going on in the chat. 1 pedal for Time Crisis 1, 2 guns for the other games. There you go. Lewis Chambers is also saying there's no confirmation that it's send-in light gun, right? But I believe it's going to be send-in light gun. Everything that they've done so far has been send-in, and Time Crisis isn't Time Crisis a send-in game? I think so. So is this a pro size? I don't think it's a pro size because it would be a 19-inch monitor. This doesn't look like a 19-inch monitor to me. And if it was a pro size or an XL size, it would be wider. This doesn't look wide to me. This looks a lot like Big Blue, but they're probably going to have an excuse to charge a pretty penny for it. If I were to guess the price, probably $699. I don't think I'm gonna. If they do announce this $699, I don't think I'm gonna pull the trigger on that. Mainly recently, I've been saving up. I'm trying to save up money for a pinball machine. It's like every single purchase you make, I mean, it just takes away from that other plan of saving up money. So this year, I did buy a handful of cabinets, but I've been very selective. Even the mini consoles that I've been buying, very selective about what I buy to try to save that money. But for Glenn, Time Crisis is a day one purchase. Kaga says he would buy that. Some people are guessing the price same as that T2 launch. I was really hoping that T2 price was just like an inflated price due to cost, and then it would kind of shrink back down. $700 for an Arcade1UP, especially when you take a look at the Golden TXL, which was also $700. It gives you a glimpse of what $700 you could get out of it. That wide cabinet. Now, yeah, they made the mistake on the monitor, but I don't think it was intentional that they made the mistake on the monitor. I think they were hoping that the monitor would actually be, a good monitor. And then they ended up coming out with the Yoga Flame Edition, which had a better monitor in it. Now, if they can acquire that 19-inch BOE at a reasonable price, I would love to see XL cabinets of different designs and that $699 price. And I would hope something like this would be less price than that, a lower price than that. I would like to see Star Wars cabinet at $499, not $599, right? It'd be so cool to be like the Star Wars cabinet returned, and it's also at the same price it was when it initially launched, despite the fact that there's been inflation. $499, just hit it with the retailers. $499, that would be a really cool price. And then you want to do $599 for a Time Crisis? Okay, cool. $599 for that. But XL, that's your $699. I think the XL with a high quality monitor, then it can be worth it, because you're going to get much more for the cabinet. That would kind of be the price ranges that I would hope they would get. Yeah, Kongs, I agree with you. It still looks like a 17-inch monitor. Yeah. What do you think the size of the monitor is? I think that's a 17-inch. I mean, quick glance, it looks like 17-inch 4x3, probably a BOE. That's my guess. Let's see. Going into the chat. Riser looks better, 10x. Paul says $499, but only if it comes with a saw so you can cut it back to the 3/4 scale size. There you go. Agreed on the pricing, Justin. If you had 19-inch BOE for $499, it would sell quickly. That would be cool. That would be definitely cool. CasinoCade. That is something else that they announced. We can switch over to that topic real quick. Here is the pictures of the CasinoCade, which is a part of the leak as well. It looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe just 7. I'm not really sure because you can't really see what's behind that. But it looks like Marilyn Monroe, Elvis, Press Your Luck. These definitely, if you look at it, this is what's really cool about, or really interesting. I shouldn't say cool, but it looks like it's a partycade. It looks like what they did was they took a partycade and slapped a little lever on the right-hand side, right? And then it's basically just a partycade with a little topper. But it's these poker games, right? And some of them, do they have buttons on it? It looks like they have buttons. So you got Plinko, you got Wheel of Fortune. But the funny thing is, this now, I don't know if it's a partycade with a stand. Is that what they're doing? You can buy basically a partycade variant of these CasinoCades, but then you can also buy, this kind of looks like a partycade, but with a stand. So did they go with, you can now buy a stand for your partycades, and now it's just a flush design? I think there's going to be a market for it. I don't really know if the majority of the home arcade market or the home arcade enthusiasts, yeah, P-dubs with a do not show this to my wife. I'm not really sure this is going to have a strong appeal to the home arcades. But here it is, Arcade1UP at home casino. Online Wheel of Fortune CasinoCade. Casino slots, pictures of Vegas. They obviously had to pay the IP for Vanna White and Pat Sajak. That's pretty funny. It's somehow connected. It looks like somehow it's live, and it looks like it's a partycade somewhere in between. What do you think the price is going to be for this? If it's a partycade one, I don't really know the casino business. I don't gamble in any sort of way. I probably gamble with with stupid things that I do, but not necessarily like go to casinos or anything like that. There's probably a market for it. It's not for me. What do you guys think in it? We got Pitbull saying they won't sell in Pennsylvania. I can't sell any type of gambling. Same with New York. So I'm very curious about that because they're building some type of casino video game. Do they fall under the regulations of gambling? You know, it's online. I don't think it is an actual thing that you can gamble with. I'm assuming it's just a video game. But even if it's marketed with the word casino on it, does that limit its reach? I'm not familiar with that. I'd love to hear what you guys think about that because you guys probably know a lot more about it than I do. Lewis says it's for the QVC HSN crowd. That's a good point. If I think the HSN QVC crowd loves the Partycade, or at least the company loves the Partycade. So the fact that it has a Partycade design kind of leans towards it's probably QVC. I don't really know. The box is really interesting. Yeah. So we got some people rolling in. It says, yeah, I'm in PA. This won't fly. And I'm happy that it won't. Dumpster fodder. There we go. The only reason why people like slots is to win money. If you can't win money, what is the point? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the appeal or how this would even work. Bill's Retro Gaming Show says, looks like some different Partycades plus a 3/4 scale CasinoCade. The top of the WAF one looks different. Wheel of Fortune, different than the Wheel of Fortune Partycade pictured on the left. Good point. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, that's very true. So notice, yeah, you pointed that out. It's really good. So inside this box gives you a look at this online Wheel of Fortune CasinoCade. You kind of look at the top speakers. It looks like they have speaker grills on there. You can see the artwork is completely different. And we can't really see if there's a handle or anything like that. But if you come over to this, what looks more like a Partycade version of the Wheel of Fortune, you have a full circle in the top. This does look like different products. Good point bringing that out. Great job catching that. Yeah, I agree. I think these are two different products. Now, what I don't understand is how you can fit all of this inside that size of box. Like, is that just an example, subject to change type of box? Because if you kind of see the scale of this room, this just looks like a little table next to, I don't know, a couch, but I don't think you can fit whatever this is inside that box. So I don't know. It's probably just an example. And I don't even know if this thing is going to be live. If this is just an example box, or they're just throwing in the live sticker on it just as an example, or they think they can connect it, or they'll connect it to something that will be able to do gambling online. I don't know. Whereas Kong says this would be fun for some game rooms. I wanted a, I don't know even know what that word is. Potch Eastlog machine. Is that a gambling type of machine? Am I pronouncing that wrong? I probably am butchering it. It's just definitely a blind spot for me. You know who watches Wheel of Fortune? Grandma. Do you really see grandmas buying and playing this? I don't. Yeah. So this word again. Grandparents, Pachinko? Is that how you say it? Is it sh sound? Let me know. I'm sure there is more of a market for this more than the Partycades. And we got some different opinions on there. That's for sure. Yeah, we got these machines are fantastic. There's a little maintenance, but fun for the family. It's a Japanese arcade game. Okay. Yeah, everyone's talking about how it's popular in Japan. They take tokens and a lot of cool IP designs. There we go. Pachinko. Thank you for that, MG. I hope I'm still saying it correct or incorrect, whatever. What's going on, Moat? All right, so I think we've wrapped it up. I got to get back. I got to end my quick live stream during this lunch break. I hope you enjoyed this first reaction of this interesting leak. I'm in my office. I literally need to get back to work now. But I hope you enjoyed it. And I don't know. I think the next time I'll go live is Saturday. We're going to do the Andor special with 19K Fox. And then Sunday, back to the podcast. I'd like to hear some more news about what's going on with the time crisis. Love to know what you guys think about it or the Wheel of Fortune. You can always comment down below. We'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.